Coach Mooney, when you think about the closing games here and then the difficulty Richmond has experienced in that area, do you think offense or defense or rebounding or anything in particular that's prevented the Spiders from closing time?
Yeah. Probably a little bit of everything, John. I would probably say mostly offense. We just haven't been able to really find as good of a scoring groove, or especially since Delani's been out. But even before then, we have not shot the ball as well as I thought that we would shoot the ball, and then we haven't been able to get ourselves as many easy baskets, partly because we haven't shot the ball as well. So, things build upon itself. I would say I tend to see more our offensive problems as the issue, but we certainly could use improvement, and we have improved, but we could certainly use more improvement over the course of time.
What do you say to the guys to keep them upbeat, not being so down? It's been a while since you guys have had a stretch like this in a season. So what do you say to them?
It depends on when it is. I think that we'll have certainly some honest interactions and tough things to say at certain times. And then we also have some things to say like, hey, we improved in this department. We did well in this. We showed some toughness here. We need to build on that. Eliminate some of the things that we've spoken about. Build on that. To be honest, that has really not been the issue with this group. They've been great energy, coachability. All of those things have really been tremendous. And, I'm thankful for that and very appreciative of that. I just wish it would turn into more results. And the last 4 or 5 games here, we're in those games. So it's not like, there have been just horrible blowouts. We're in those games, so there is fight and scrap. We just haven't been able to finish off any of them recently.
What do you want to see from your defense specifically, because they have kept you in these games against a VCU team that loves to shoot the three and they love to run and create opportunities to get the fans involved?
Yeah, no, they're really an impressive team, and I think that a little bit above. They've turned teams over at a really high rate. So that's one, is try to not have live ball turnovers. That's really, really critical. And they've gotten offensive rebounds at an extremely high rate. And so those two things are super important to their offense. And if you can, you don't have control of anything necessarily, but if you can control those two things to a certain extent, that really helps you. The three-point shooting and the athleticism and, some of their guys, Sugar's a great player. Those guys are hard to guard. But if they also get a bunch of offensive rebound baskets and a bunch of transition baskets off of turnovers, then you really don't give yourself much of a chance.
How would you describe this rivalry against VCU to someone like me that's new to the rivalry? What makes it unique, and what's different about it in college basketball?
Well, the proximity of the schools is what probably makes it the most unique part. Now that we're in the same conference, or have been for a while now, is unique. And then the differences of the places. VCU's on Broad Street, right in the center of the city. We're out here on the West End, so there's a little bit of a different campus feel. There's a little bit of a different type of school. But I think, the fact that it's Richmond and they're, two high-level programs in the same city that are in the same conference is really exciting. Both have great arenas. Both games are always sold out. There have been some just incredibly memorable games in this rivalry that have been, maybe they've been surprising or not, but they've been extremely exciting. There's high intensity. I've always said, we're so lucky to have a rival, because at the beginning of the year you can circle these two games on our schedule. We're so lucky to have a rival, and it's just a great thing for the whole city and basketball community. And it's great. As challenging and as great as they have been, it's great for us to have it and to look forward to and to prepare for and to compete in.
Do you have a favorite thing about it, or a favorite moment in the history that you've been here in this room?
I have a few favorite moments for sure. My favorite thing about it is just, I wouldn't have known before I got here just how close the schools were and how intense the rivalry was, and then to experience it in both arenas is really, really cool. There are a lot more people associated with VCU that I meet because it's such a bigger place, and people who work there or work in the hospital, and so I've met so many great people there, and so I just love that it's there and the rivalry and the intensity of it. There's a few favorite moments. Darian Brothers made a very well coached shot from 35 feet to put the game in overtime once that we won. But there's been some heartbreaking memories too. So it all goes in perspective. We were in the A10 tournament in Brooklyn, and I think we were the better seed. They had played the night before, and it was maybe a 1-point game, and we had a transition play, and Kendall Anthony slipped on the A10 tournament logo that they applied to the lane, which I had always disliked. And he slipped on that, and it was a turnover. I think we had 6 turnovers in the game. And that was a really critical play, and not that I remember that or anything, but so yeah, there have been some intense memories, good and bad.
Fighters so many times through this losing streak have been in position. Yet in the last 5 or 6 minutes, things have kind of slipped away. What needs to be done to sort of reverse that trend?
I think we're definitely doing a lot of good things to put ourselves in the position to win, but I think what it comes down to is being a little bit more confident in what we do and executing down the stretch so that we can convert some of those close games to wins. So I would just say a little bit better execution down the stretch, and we can start having more success.
Lonnie's absence is related to that in what way?
Well, he's a leader. I mean, vocal and just everything on the court. He really gets us going, making sure everybody's in the right spot, calling out plays. So it's on me, the other older guys, and the other guards to try and make sure everybody knows what we're doing and everybody's on the same page.
Your view of the Rams at VCU, based on what you've known about the venue and the team this year?
Yeah, well, it's always a great game. Every time we play at VCU, the energy is different than anything we'll really see all year. So it's a great rivalry. Obviously, the close proximity adds another level of intensity, but definitely looking forward to it.
How much do you talk to your new guys about what they're going to experience?
Yeah, well, I think that you can only really explain it so much. You really have to kind of have that in-person experience to get a better understanding. But I think that having a couple of good days of preparation, going through things over the course of the season so that you're prepared for when that moment comes, that all can help contribute to having success.
Yeah. About the confidence. What have the guys amongst themselves said to one another about staying afloat, not getting down? Because Saturday there might be some adversity in that point, and you don't want to repeat what has taken place during the streak.
Yeah, well, I think that the confidence comes from our preparation. I think that trusting what we do in practice, trusting what we do on offense, running our plays the right way, executing on defense the right way, practicing all those different things can help us execute when things are going bad. They might be going on a run. Going back to what we know, I think can help us weather the storm when those things happen.
Did you become more of a vocal leader with Delani's absence?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Delani's leadership is irreplaceable, but he still is a leader even off the court without playing. And then also, I definitely have had to step up a little bit more with making sure, like we talked about earlier, everybody's in the right place and trying to help the younger guys understand what we're doing. So I've tried my best to try and be more vocal, but D'Lo is definitely an irreplaceable leader for sure.
How about from a scoring standpoint? You've picked it up here the last several games. How much of that is a part of D'Lo's absence and also just needing some points?
Yeah, I think that it's a combination of both. I think that my mentality will stay the same either way. The shots I take, if I'm open, I'm going to shoot. If I'm not, I'm going to pass and keep running the offense. So what I do basically stays the same, but definitely without one of our main scorers coming around, the ball might find me a little bit more and lead to more of those opportunities. So. I feel good. I give a lot of credit to Andy and Jay for Andy, our athletic trainer, and Jay, our strength and conditioning coach, for helping me stay ready throughout the entire season. So I give all the credit to them, and I feel good, and I'm ready to hit the home stretch of the season.